Good morning, everyone. My name's Chris Wyke, and I'm an international lead at the University of Derby. Welcome to this webinar about our postgraduate built environment courses available to study this September. During this session, we will provide you with a brief introduction to the university and our city. Then my academic colleague, Dr. Boris Saranic, in the main part of this presentation, will tell you all you need to know about our brilliant courses available for you to study at the university. Finally, we'll inform you of key dates around applications and also for any inquiries that may be here, how to apply for our courses and the next steps for offer holders. There will also be plenty of opportunity to ask questions at the end. So either type in the chat as we go along, or you can wait to ask the questions you may have at the end. Next slide, please. So the University of Derby is a much loved second home to approximately now 2,200 international students from over 100 countries, creating a diverse and multicultural student community. We have been educating here since 1851. We offer quality courses, which is signified by our high rankings in many subject areas, attaining gold standard in the prestigious Teaching Excellence Framework, which only 20% of universities in the UK manage. As well as that, very importantly, we're in the top 20 for student satisfaction in the current University Guide and Teaching. Teaching quality in the Times and Sunday Times Good University Guide, also we're in the top 20. So we offer a great study experience with world-class facilities and a fantastic place to live in a multiple award-winning accommodation. Next slide, please. Next slide, please, Boris. So where is the University of Derby? The University of Derby is based in the city of Derby, which is located in the heart of England, in an excellent position to access all the UK has to offer. The birthplace of the Industrial Revolution, we are proud to be building on our region's heritage of innovation and industry-relevant expert teaching and world-leading research. Our location mixes the best of city living with the ability to explore one of the most stunning national parks in the country, right on the doorstep of our campuses, the Peak District. We're only 90 minutes away from both London and Manchester, and ideally situated for all aspects of student life and easily accessible from a number of international airports. Next slide, please. The city of Derby itself is one of the most affordable in the UK. It has held purple flag status in recognition of it being a welcoming and safe place with lots going on for international students to really experience British culture. There are plenty of shops, restaurants, bars, entertainment venues and parks, including Mark Eaton Park, just across the road from our main site at Kelton Road, an ideal spot for a stroll or lunch. We have a League One football team, a county cricket side and a cycling velodrome in the city, if you love sport. A lively and multicultural city, Derby is home to major multinational companies such as Rolls-Royce, Toyota, and Bombardier, very much linked to engineering. As Europe's largest rail cluster, Derby is at the heart of Great Britain's rail industry too, bringing track and train together and delivering high-skilled jobs to a city already brimming with the best talent in industry. Derby has recently been chosen by the UK government as the national headquarters of Great British Railways. Derby as a city is compact and easy to get around. We are a mix between campus and city-based. The university buildings span what's called the University Quarter within the city, so you're never far from a building or halls, but there are signs to stop you getting lost. Everything is just a short walk or free bus ride from one site to another, university accommodation, or the city centre. Next slide, over to you, Boris.
Thank you very much, Chris. Welcome, everybody, and please feel free to ask us any questions that you go about the courses at the end of the presentation. So, why study at Derby? These are the long-standing, accredited, professionally recognised courses. We are one of the 4 CIT Centres of Excellence in the UK, and we offer curriculum that is vocationally orientated and is taught by people that's not only academics, but also practice in the professional fields. We are also very research active and offer opportunities to either carry on to the PhD as well as help you find some employments. The two courses that we're going to particularly discuss today, it's the MSc Building Information Modeling and Project Collaboration, MSc Sustainable Architecture and Healthy Buildings. And with no further ado, let's move on to the first one. So Sustainable Architecture and Healthy Buildings Master's course is a duly accredited course. So it is accredited by Chartered Institute of Building and Chartered Institute of Architecture Technologies. And is also one of the only three CIAT or Chartered Institute of Architecture Technology centers of the excellence in the UK and the worldwide. The course is very much centered around sustainable architecture curriculum in terms of the learning how to design low and net zero carbon buildings using passive sustainable design techniques, understanding how to quantify your design decisions by undertaking building performance simulation. But he also pays attention to issue and aspects of the health in buildings, particularly when we use a very modern, non-breathable materials, as ultimately the most important thing in any building design are the people inside. So the teaching takes form of variety of sessions, seminars, group work, presentations, lectures, site visits, and is organized over 3 semesters, which are undertaken in one single year of full-time study, starting with the autumn semester that covers sustainable architecture, low energy design, which is a very much design setting the scene for the design in terms of passive sustainable design module. Environmental risk responsibility and research methods, which are 2 half or 2 10 credits modules. And then health in buildings, comparative approaches that we have just highlighting importance of. In the second semester, we then move on to the technical aspects of the passive sustainable design, or in generally a low energy or green or environmental sustainable design. Looking at the modules such as sustainable design analysis simulation, where we get to learn how to use a very sophisticated building performance simulation software such as the IES. Sustainable construction methods and materials that obviously are there because we can't design nothing if we don't understand how we put the things together. And then you got choice between the 2 options, design environments or CPD, continued professional development module. And then the course kind of culminates, or program culminates in the final semester. Semester 2, by the way, is a spring semester. And semester 3 is a summer semester in which you undertake your independent study, your dissertation that can be very much project-based, by the way. And that dissertation is supervised by your director of study and second supervisor. In terms of the student satisfaction, we are proud to say that we have had 100% satisfaction score 3 years in a row for both of the master's courses, not just on the quality of the quality of the course, but also quality of the teaching as well on the course. And then this is something that these surveys are independently undertaken and confidential by their nature, so therefore a valid measure of student satisfaction on the courses. In terms of some of the student successes, just a couple of the students here that kind of gives you a really wide cross-section of people that's finished our course, because employability is very high. So Lee Jones is working in industry. He's finished about 3 years ago, and he's head of sustainability in Bufka Group, which is actually formerly known as NBS, National Building Specification Group, which you have almost certainly heard of because it's something that we use in UK and worldwide, where some people are opted actually to do the PhDs and then develop themselves into academic career, such as Dr. Sahid Ajavi, who is now a lecturer at Leeds Beck University, but originally completed our master course. Moving on to the second course, which is Building Information Modeling and Project Collaboration. This course, again, similar to the other one, but possibly even more, is very, very vocationally orientated. His key intention is to try to simulate what we need to know with regards to building information modeling as much as possible in the way that we do it in the real world and the real practice. Therefore, it is very tightly related to international standards and sets and processes and procedures that we must follow in implementation of BIM Level 2 projects and BIM framework, in particularly the ISO 1960-50 standard, which I'm quite sure some of you would have heard of. It is a triple accredited course, so it's accredited by the Chartered Institute of Building, Royal Institute of Chartered Surveyors, and Chartered Institute of Architecture and Technology. So he has got a true professional recognition. And as you would imagine, we do get students here, not just from the architecture background, but also from building services, from construction management, from civil engineering background, and so on. In terms of the structure of the course, again, very similar to the Master in Sustainable Architecture. We got 3 semesters, 1 year of the full-time study. Autumn semester sets the scene that's of the building information modeling in relation to the project management and process standards side of the things, particularly this ISO 19650. And that happens through the modules called BIM and Integrated Project Collaboration and Costing Project Planning and Design Management. Both of those modules are taught by experienced senior BIM manager practitioners that work in industry, hence reinforcing the point of how vocationally we are aware of the importance of the BIM in the industry. In semester 2, we dedicate more time to technology side of the BIM. So here you got BIM and Building Performance Simulation, Sustainable Design Analysis module, then Advanced Parametric Design, Customization and Visualization module, where you learn wonderful things such as visual programming using Dynamo with the Revit. We do use Autodesk products, so you will work on the Revit as a software, Navisworks for clash detection, and Dynamo for the visual programming. And then you got choice of, again, option between project planning, value engineering, risk management, or continual professional development. And identical to the previous Master Sustainable Architecture course in the 3rd semester, which is summer semester, you undertake your dissertation, and you will be allocated the director of study and second supervisor. For this course, as I've just said earlier on, we also got a 100% student satisfaction at 3 years in a row from the Postgraduate Experience Survey. And in terms of the student successes, you can see just a couple of example students. So Mutalissi Madululi, who he completed our master's about 6 years ago. Now he's a senior BIM manager and BIM lead in really large company in the construction, and he does come back to university and does guest lectures and sessional teaching. But people like John Dixon, who is coming from civil engineering background, is a senior structural engineer and a BIM lead for the AMI, which is a very large civil engineering consultancy. So you kind of start getting feeling of what kind of jobs graduates or alumni students are getting. In terms of our equipment facilities, you will be lucky to study in very modern building that is been originally built in 2013, if I remember correctly, but then it has had extension, science and technology extension in of 6 years ago. So we got excellent facilities, so you can access studio spaces, maker spaces where you can work yourself with the help of the technicians on the 3D printing, laser cutting, rapid prototyping. There are augmented and virtual reality facilities and general university facilities as you would expect them in terms of the teaching spaces and access to computer labs. Just to finish with a few examples of the PhD studies, because quite a few students do express interest in terms of moving on to the PhD studies after their masters, and we do have currently about seven, sorry, that are doing PhD with us that are from our masters. So there are some examples of sustainable architecture PhD studies. So kinetic facade systems and adaptive building envelopes, optimizing a shape to get a minimum heat gains, but optimize daylight levels. There is an example of Sharon Woods House, which is actually a real build project on which actually students have works, and this is energy positive, carbon negative house. And here we got, say, Smart Pod, which is sustainable, autonomous, rapid deployment building solution, a classroom of 100 square meters that can be deployed over the weekend, and it can be completely autonomous, i.e. look after itself in terms of its energy needs and demands. On the BIM side, again, use of the BIM in looking at the issues of the overheating in vulnerable housing and care people homes, or using the BIM and the fire safety, or looking how to use the BIM in terms of process optimization and what the role of the BIM could be in terms of improving productivity, reducing waste in building projects. So you can see the variety of the research is broad and very, very rich. I think from here, I'm going to pass you on to the Chris, please.
Thanks, Boris. Right. So the next stage we're going to talk about is for inquiries. For those of you who've not yet applied, there's still plenty of time. You just need to ensure that you're CAS ready by the first week of August. But we advise applying as soon as possible. So there are two ways to apply. You can visit our webpage, the course you're interested in, one of those two courses, complete the online application form. You'll be able to see our entry requirements there, fees, etc. Or the other option would be to apply through one of our agents. Again, on our website, you'll see a list of agents with the countries that they cover. So you'd be able to use one of those, and they will assist you with the application right through from the course through to applying for your visa. If you happen to live in Nigeria or India, we also have in-country staff members who would be able to assist you with that as well. So just submit your accompanying documents alongside your application. So copies of your qualifications, your degree certificate, your transcripts, personal statements, very important. Maybe you want to include a CV if you did to talk about your work experience. And then finally, your English language qualification. The only other thing then is to ensure that you have sufficient funds in your account when you're ready for the CAS stage. Next slide, please. So finally, then for those who have already applied, if you haven't done so yet, whether your offer is conditional or unconditional, please accept it as soon as possible by emailing the address you can see here on the slide. Respond as quickly as possible. We want to give you as much time as possible to process your CAS and to get your visa. If you have already accepted your offer and you're unconditional, then the next stage will be then to pay the deposit in full. So the minimum deposit now is £8,000. Attend pre-CAS interview if required. And then submit any financial documentation when you are requesting your CAS. Just to say that we've now, as an institution, joined CAS Shield, so you'll be given the link to join that, and then you'll be able to see where your CAS is in the process anytime you want by logging into that. Make sure that you submit any outstanding documents if you're a conditional firm you may have, which are mentioned in your offer letter. But if you do have any questions about those conditions, you can contact the university. And then finally, as I mentioned about those questions, you can either email askadmissions@derby.ac.uk with any questions around your application, or if you're further on from that, it's about your visas or any other questions you may have, then contact international@derby.ac.uk. Final slide, please, Boris. Right, so that just leaves myself and Boris to say thank you for listening. You'll be sent an email with a recording of this presentation so you can look at it afterwards. But please do follow us on social media. And as mentioned before, if you got any questions, contact us through the email address mentioned. That's one thing I would say to you: ask as many questions as you want, because obviously it's a big decision to make studying overseas. So ask any question you may have.